Salah satu lagi budaya yang memikat remaja-remaja Chicanos adalah budaya breakdancing yang dibawa oleh kaum African American di South Bronx. Nak tahu lebih lanjut, terus menonton episod 9, ORALE. ORALE. Walaupun budaya breakdancing telah diperkenalkan oleh kaum African American di South Bronx, namun begitu, terdapat lebih ramai penari Bboy yang berasal dari kaum Latin. Sebenarnya, gabungan beats dari kaum African American dan juga kaum Latin telah menjadi muzik utama yang akan dimainkan ketika mereka berdansa. Pada tahun 1981, budaya Bboy telah dikupas dalam rancangan televisyen ABC News yang pada ketika itu, kumpulan Bboy yang paling menyelah adalah Rocksteady Crew yang juga telah dipaparkan dalam filem seperti Star Wars dan Wild Style. Salah seorang penari di dalam Rocksteady Crew yang berbahasa Latin adalah Steven Clemente ataupun dikenali sebagai Mr. Wiggles. Dilahirkan pada tahun 1965 di Bronx, New York, adalah dari kaum South Bronx Puerto Rican dan telah mula berjinak dengan hip hop dari awal 70-an. Dia amat terkenal dengan gaya tarian popinya dan pernah juga menyertai The Electric Boogaloo, Tribal Clique, Zulu Nation dan juga TC5 ataupun dikenali sebagai The Cool Five dan juga The Crazy Five. Selain menari, Mr. Wiggles juga aktif dalam lakonan, guru tarian, music producer dan juga melukis grafiti. Orma Delgado Macias atau lebih dikenali sebagai Rocs Right ialah generasi yang pertama dari kaum Mexican American yang banyak meluangkan masanya dengan fokus tertumpu hanya pada bidang breakdancing sehingga ke tahap dia menjadi terkenal. Pada ketika ini, dia mempunyai 100 kemenangan menjuarai pertandingan Bboy dengan berbekalkan pengalamannya selama 20 tahun. Dilahirkan pada tahun 1982 di Guadalajara, Mexico, Orma Delgado Macias atau Rocs Right telah dibesarkan di Windsor, California. Pada umurnya 12 tahun, dia telah dikenalkan dengan breakdancing dan seterusnya mewakili Amerika Syarikat dalam pertandingan. Kemenangan pertamanya pada 2003 yang berlangsung di Perancis kerana gaya yang suka menggunakan gaya rock right, the dancing the right way. Makanya dia mendapat nama gelaran Bboy Rocs Right. Dia juga pernah dijemput dalam rancangan dokumentari dan reality seperti Turn It Loose 2010 dan juga Break and Reality 2012 dan 2014. Pada tahun 2013, dia telah memenangi acara gaya bebas breakdancing bersama kumpulannya, Squadron. Di Singapura ini juga, kita tidak kurang dengan mereka yang mempunyai bakat dalam bidang breakdancing. Dan salah satu darinya ialah True Colours yang juga meminati budaya Chicanos. Okay guys, tadi aku bilang korang aku akan bawa korang berjumpa dengan seorang Bboy legend daripada Singapura. Okay, this boy name is Farhan from True Colours. What up, Kanal? Okay, Paso Homes, everything okay? ORALE. Alright, bro, can you let us know when do you start to become a Bboy?
Okay, I started back in 98 through a bunch of friends that were already doing the elements of hip hop, which is like breaking, graffiti, rap and DJing. So that's how I got into it. But like growing up when I was younger, I was already influenced by the music that came out from the radios, whatever that hip hop related music or music videos or whatever videos that I could find, right? I gravitated to that, and then like that gave me a bit of inspiration, and like I like the vibe and the style of the culture of hip hop, you know. So like that's what got me into it.
So during the 90s, the radios were playing hip hop music.
The radios.
The radio.
The radio, yes.
The local national radios.
See, back in the 90s, right, when I was growing up, we had really good music coming out from the radios, like commercial music, and we also had very good black sitcoms that were playing on our TV.
Seriously?
Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh yes,
like
I remember
In
that.
Living Color.
Oh yes,
you know,
yes.
There's so much that I grew up on watching all this, and it influenced me a lot. Especially the music lah, basically, you know, because like back in the 90s, the commercial music was as good as the underground music to me, you know, because like that's why people say like the 90s music was like the golden age of hip hop, right?
Yes, the 90s was dope, bro. It was dope. It was the dope years where the music started to grow in Singapore, all the culture stuff, and MTV.
Yes, MTV also just started.
Yeah. So when you started to do this B-boy thing, is it hard for you to learn all the moves?
It's hard in a sense, but like there wasn't much moves back then actually. It was just a lot of basic moves, and like of course we had like the hard moves, like the power moves and stuff like that, but like when I started off, it was pretty much I didn't really pressure myself to learn like all these moves, you know, like I took my time, I enjoyed the process. It was like it was more like a entertaining hobby with a bunch of my friends and my crews and crewmates and stuff like that, you know, because like back then when we practice, right, we didn't practice for an event, we didn't practice for competition,
just for the fun of it,
because there was nothing,
yes.
so we did it for ourselves just to be better, you know, in our craft. So yeah, that's like the main difference between that back then and now.
Yeah,
you know,
those times were like
those times were pure, bro.
Pure, right?
Yeah,
yes.
It's really
the 90s were really pure. You do it all for the love, man, for the culture. Bro, if you can do a little shout out for your crew back then, what's the crew name?
Okay, I like to give a shout out to my crew, Radical Force. $7 is my international crew. $7. I have a student crew called Style Groovers Crew, straight up from Republic Polytechnic.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are my crews that I represent.
I see. Okay, bro. So when you are doing the breakdancing back then, right? What is the difference back then and nowadays that you can see that? You can see.
Apart from like session, like practice mindset, the main difference is like it's more commercialized now. Breaking is gonna be in the Olympics for 2024, so that's a huge jump from my time, you know.
Respect.
Yeah. So like it has evolved healthily, you know, like the kids now, I mean, like for not just for breaking, like for other extreme sports like skating, all this, you can see from the kids nowadays, like as young as below 10 years old, how good and crazy they are, you know. So
yes,
like
correct.
The evolution is already there, you know. So like it's dope to see that. Other than that, we just have more events and more opportunities now than back then.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we are much more exposed nowadays.
Yes.
Because there's internet, YouTube.
Yes.
And back then it was like video tapes, VHS tapes.
It was very hard to acquire footage, and you know, like especially music videos and stuff like that. You know, like we had to record music, bro. Using cassette last time and stuff like that. You know,
I still remember the old radio.
Yeah.
Then you have to like the hi-fi or stuff.
Yeah.
Then you have to press play and record together to get the music. And sometimes the DJ might interrupting the music.
Yes.
That's the most ridiculous of it.
I used to record, and then like if I wanted to learn the lyrics, right, I would just keep rewinding and try to figure out what they were saying just to have the lyrics, you know, so that I can sing along and shit like that. Yeah, man, those were the days, bro.
But somehow we survived.
Yeah, we survived, which is good.
And okay, bro, what are the basics move that is easily to learn as a b-boy?
For b-boying, of course, we have the crazy ass hard moves, right? But like, there's actually a dance to it. Like just straight up on your feet. We don't have to go down on the floor and stuff like that, which is called rocking.
Rocking.
So rocking is the dance of b-boying. You know, so that's where you do your Indian step, the little dance before you go down and do your fold and stuff like that.
Yeah. Alright.
So that's actually the dance of it. That's actually the easiest.
The basic.
The basic.
I see. Right.
Of course, like the dance also has the intermediate and the hard levels, you know. But like the basic ones are like, you know, you usually know like yang buka, right? It's called the Indian step. Yeah.
So like if I can say that if they say you want to do all those moves, it will take some time and also hard practice.
It depends, you know, because like every individual
have a different
progresses at their own pace.
I see.
You know, so if you know, some people, I have some of my crewmates that are like, dorang macam Matrix, bro. Dorang download dorang dah boleh buat benda tu, you know. So like
amazing.
I'm not like that. I have to work hard to get what I want, you know. So like it takes time, you know. So like for b-boys and b-girls out there that like are like discouraged or like, you know, have no like, you feel down because you cannot get a certain move or you cannot get something that you want in the dance, don't quit.
Don't quit.
Because one day you keep practicing, one day you will get it. Whatever that you want in life, actually, not just the dance,
not just b-boying,
not just b-boying. If you put in a lot of effort and you have the passion for it, right, you can get anything, man.
So dengar guys, nasihat daripada abang kita sini ya, abang legend kita Farhan, True Colours. Don't ever give up, no matter what. Okay, even though it's a baby step, you will eventually get there someday. Correct, bro?
Yep.
Okay, bro. Alright. You know this ORALE is about Chicano culture stuff. So
yes.
What interests you about Chicano culture?
Okay, for Chicano culture, the first thing that I got to know about Chicano culture is actually through music.
Through music.
So like, I think I heard Cypress Hill and like Delinquent Habits in like 96 while I was in like secondary school, and I didn't even know anything about Chicano culture or hip hop culture back then, you know. But like, I heard the music and it was like, and then when I heard like Delinquent Habits and like Cypress Hill, like they were like different, you know. They had that brown pride kind of flow.
Vibe,
it's a different vibe, but it's the same vibe. So like,
it's like in the West Coast area. But you are doing like something unique.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The voice, bro.
Yeah.
The voice of Bgirl. The flow of Bgirl.
The language they use, you know. So like, that's what I like. That's what I liked back then. Back then lah, you know, when I saw and then when I started seeing videos, then I realized like, oh shit, it's a whole different, like dressing is a bit different, you know, like blah 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 blah, but it's still hip hop, you know. So like, then I understood like, oh shit, this culture is quite dope.
So actually, is there any dance move that the specifically done by the Chicano side, the Latin kind of move that is different from the West Coast side?
There is a lot of there are a lot of moves and like dance styles that are influenced by the Latino culture. Because okay, hip hop in general is basically it's mostly the blacks and the Latinos that brought this culture through the roof, you know. So like, but like a lot of people are just like claiming it's like, actually there was this one time a few years back or like last year, like black people were trying to claim hip hop for themselves, you know. But like, if you are really into the culture and really into hip hop culture, right, it's actually a lot of races are involved in this, and it's like, you know, it's like, it's not just one race that started this, you know. It's actually multi, you know. But of course, I give it to the black people for starting the music, because like a lot of genres came from them, bro.
Correct,
you know?
correct.
Like,
even rock,
like funk, rock,
even rock.
Yeah, you know. Even like, even Elvis Presley was biting black people, bro.
Yes.
You know, like, you know. But like, that one I give it up to them. But in terms of elevating the culture, it's not just black people. The Latinos play a very important part, man. Dance-wise, culture-wise, music-wise, everything. They have put in a lot of work into this culture also, and I give props to them.
Props to the brown pride. So for the rest of the world, let's stop this Kali issue stuff and work together, bro.
There's no such thing as racism in hip-hop. It doesn't exist.
It's true. No racism in hip-hop.
Especially in breaking, you know. In breaking, we have everybody around the world is doing it, but the Latinos, especially in the West Coast, they actually elevated a lot. Actually, East and West lah. But you know, but like the Chicano culture is strong in the West. So like they had a lot of b-boys back then also. So like that's where I started dressing in like Dickies and stuff like that. You know, like
like the one in the Rock Steady crew, Mr. Wiggles.
Yes, Mr. Wiggles.
He's a Latino also. So guys, seperti yang dikatakan, sejarah tidak pernah salah, okay? The blacks and the Latins, both of them work together. And the Latins are involved in these b-boy movements. So
without doubt,
stop the hate, start to love, bro. Okay, Fan, any last words that you want to say to the viewers?
Any last words? If you like Chicano culture and you like the music, you know, like try to dive into it, especially the music side. You can never go wrong with music, especially when you want to learn a culture, right? The music of that culture is the best way to understand, to feel how the culture feels. You know, because it's a range from like way back from like 50s, 60s music until now, you know.
Correct.
So like for me, apart from like hip hop, Chicano groups like Delinquent Habits, you know, and like I listen to like
Cypress Hill,
Frost. I don't know whether
Kid
you know
Frost. Kid Frost is the
La
first.
Raza.
Yeah, La Raza.
Yeah,
The first
you know?
Mexican American kind of rap.
So on top of like hip hop Chicano music, I also listen to Latin music, like
Latin
funk. We have a lot of break beats from funk records that are Latino, you know, like Ray Barretto. We have like Mongo Santa Maria.
Wow.
We have like
Mongo Santa Maria.
Yeah. And all this, a lot, bro, a lot actually.
Nice.
And it all involves into the hip hop culture itself. You know? So like, I don't only listen to black music. I listen to a lot of other cultures. You know, every part of the world has a funk era back in the 70s. Even Singapore, we had a huge band community. Like my dad was a drummer.
Wow.
My dad knows Arwah Yet.
Yeah.
Dad, because they are musicians, bro. So like I have a lot of my friends that our dads know each other through music.
So
because
your dad knows Johnny G's dad?
Yeah. My dad is a drummer, bro.
That's why I say the community here in Singapore, we are like Chicanos actually.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. And one more thing, don't forget, you want to know about Chicanos, do watch ORALE. Okay?
Yes. And you watch the movies as well.
And watch the movies. Sangre por Sangre, American Me, Mi Vida La Loca, right?
187.
187. There's a lot.
Blood In, Blood Out.
Blood In, Blood Out.
Ah, man. So many.
Yeah, there's so many Chicanos movie. And the old school one was The Ring. I just promoted it the other day.
Okay.
It's the 1950s Pachucos. So it's
nice,
way
nice,
back
nice.
then.
Nice.
So thank you so much for your time, Farhan.
Thank you for having me, man.
Maybe you can bust us some move that we can show the viewers later.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Itu saja guys pada episod kali ini. So jangan lupa seperti biasa, like, share, subscribe, tekan lonceng Takober tu dan kita akan berjumpa lagi di lain episod. So guys, stay tune. Episod 10, episod terakhir. Orale.
Orale.